Alrighty, this is my review for Dust Bunny. This movie, talk about unpredictable. I watched one trailer for this movie, and it still didn't prepare me for this movie. This movie felt like a dream, and it also felt like, you know what it reminded me of? Speed Racer. I love Speed Racer, and I need to rewatch it. I haven't rewatched it in so long. I'm probably gonna do a review on it soon if I want. But I miss Speed Racer, and it was so good. And I remember watching with my little brother, and he loved it too. But the point is, Speed Racer has a type of fantasy element to it, and it has a type of feel to it that's like so preposterous, but it's also fun. This movie is very preposterous, but also fun. And in the beginning of the movie, I thought this was gonna bother me, which was that I felt like so much of it was like CGI backgrounds. But then as the movie kept going on, I fell into the fantasy of it. And I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. They want us to feel this. They want us to kind of feel this fantasy world because things are going to happen that may be fantasy. And I like the way the movie plays with the idea of something being real or not. And all I'm going to say is when you know what's real, and when I'm talking about what's real, there's a girl. I'm not. The premise of the movie is this. I'm not spoiling anything, but the premise is this girl. She hires a hitman to kill the monster under her bed. Great premise, right? How can we do that? There might be some hijinks in there. There might be something going on. Is the monster real? There's a lot of things. So I like that idea, and I think that it served itself really well. And parts where I wanted to see more, I didn't. But the parts that I did see were rewarding because you've been waiting for a while. So it was definitely a fantasy horror. And when I was watching, I was like, is this a horror movie? And parts of it does feel like that. So I would say fantasy horror, and I would say action thriller is what I'll say. And the action is actually pretty good too. And the acting was amazing. The little girl, the actress who plays the little girl, she's very good as well. I like the relationship between the girl and the hitman. I think that was pretty cool. I like the kind of father and surrogate daughter kind of relationship that bond that builds. And this movie was so unexpected. So unexpected. Like if you want to go to a movie and feel like you don't know what's gonna happen, but you just want to watch something entertaining, I think this movie does that on a lot of levels. It is very entertaining, and I feel like it gives you, I don't know, it makes you feel like, I don't know, it makes you question certain things, but when you get those answers, you kind of understand it. I will say that if you want a movie that's gonna make you feel like, you know what this feels like? This feels like if you've seen the movie Machete, like it just feels like it's fun, it's crazy, it's quirky, and they don't care. They don't care. The writer was like, this is what I want to make. I'm going to have women walking around with pistols attached to their heels and shoot. Like, they go crazy. And I think I like it a lot. And I like the way I like the story. I think the story was nice between the little girl and her. Almost basically, like she's claiming she has a monster under her bed. She hires a hitman to take care of that monster. You know, obviously they could go a lot of different ways with that. And I like the direction they took. And I like the very ending shot, I would say. I like the ending shot, as almost say, as you see a shadow. And I like that. I like that. And I don't think they're going to make more, but I really did enjoy this. I think that people, like, I don't know. I think I had no expectations for this movie, so maybe that's why I liked it. But I don't think it was. It's not the best movie in the world, but it was fun. I think it was maybe one of the funnest movies I've seen. One of the funniest movies I've seen all year. One of the funnest ones, and it's especially because horror fantasies like I like this horror fantasy. I feel like I want to see more in this genre. I think I haven't seen anything in this genre in a while, and I feel like horror and fantasy really go together. I feel like a lot of people like the demonic and stuff like with horror, but like fantasy and horror, I think go really good. I want to see more in this world. Not this world in general, but just like fantasy. I like the idea of mixing fantasy and horror. I really do. So much things. You got magic. You got so much different things. Like, so I like it. And the action was great. if you saw the monster, if the monster is real or not, well, I would say it's great. There's a lot of big actors in this that I didn't know about. They had Sigourney Weaver. I had no idea she was going to be in it, so that was interesting. What else am I going to say? The Mads Mikkelsen. Mads Mikkelsen is the assassin. Like, they have heavy hitters in this film. Like, they didn't come to play. One thing I gotta say is that the direction of this movie was very good, because there's parts of this film, like I said, they mixed the CGI with practical, and I think it serves it in certain ways. I'll say maybe not practical, but maybe they mix certain shots. Okay, they gotta use the CGI to make the camera come in from the moon or whatever, however they're gonna do it. I just like the fantasy element. I think it serves this story really well. And one thing about the what do you call it? About the hitman, I don't want to spoil anything about the hitman, but it's just this movie. You know what this movie made me want to watch? This movie made me want to watch The Professional. Okay, I've actually never seen The Professional, but people have told me about The Professional. I said, hey, we think you would like this movie because you like these type of movies. Watch The Professional. I've never seen it. And apparently it's about an assassin and a girl. I think he's trying to protect her or whatever. But the point is, this assassin is trying to protect this girl, and she's hiring him to protect her from the monster under her bed. And the more I say that, the more I like that premise. And I don't know if, and now that I'm thinking about it, like, they obviously could have did so much with it, but I like what they gave us. And that fantasy element, I just can't get over the fantasy element of it. Like, there's parts of this movie you're watching and I felt like it was almost like a dream. Like, it felt very dream-like. Especially there's this fighting scene with Mads Mikkelsen in the very beginning, and it felt almost like, I don't want to say Sin City, but that's kind of how it made me feel. It kind of made me feel like Sin City. Like, because Sin City, sometimes the action is like unbelievable, and comic booky, but you feel it, and it has grit, but it has fun. And this action, it wasn't like, and it's crazy because this movie is actually rated R. And before I saw it, I was like, what makes this movie rated R? I think just the action itself makes it rated R, and because there is death in this film, and I think that's where you get that fantasy and horror kind of mixing together. But ultimately, I enjoyed myself. This was very unexpected for me. I didn't expect much from it. I just thought that, first of all, if you see the poster looks amazing. So you feel like, all right, it's gonna be something interesting. What's going on? And then you have Sigourney Weaver, and they have this parts in this film where the characters are just talking, and you're interested in what they're talking about. So I think the story is really good, and the writing is actually really good too. So I like it. I like the pacing. I like that. If I had to do this out of 5 stars, I'd give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. It was a solid film. So check it out if you want. But if you like fantasy genre, if you want to watch something dreamlike with some action, and also you could probably take a kid to see this too. It's fantasy horror, but you could probably take a kid to see this, and they're not gonna really be scared, but they're gonna have fun, and I think it's gonna open some imagination doors. So I would definitely say check it out if you want. This could be a family fun film, even though it has some action, some stuff. I mean, hey. But it's Dejo, know the name, spread love and light. Take care, and let's sign off.